Good morning, everybody, or good evening for all of you, because most of you are in London. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome along to what I believe is our last beginner's lesson with Jack for the year. So, just quickly, if you're new here tonight, please go ahead and introduce yourself down in the bottom right-hand corner there. Just let us know where you're from. A very big welcome to you. This is a really encouraging group of people, and you're in very safe hands. Please go ahead and ask any questions that you've got. It's likely that if you've got a question, somebody else would too. And there's lots of people that also watch the replay who can't join us live. So the more questions you ask, the better. Technical difficulties. If you have any challenges tonight on the technical front, there's a few things you can do. Firstly, you can just leave it for a few moments, let it see if the internet irons itself out. Secondly, you can refresh your browser tab. If that doesn't work, just close your browser tab, go back to your original invitation in email and reopen the link. Now that solves pretty much everything, 99.9% of issues, and we don't usually have any issues anyway, but for any of those little issues that aren't solved, you can get in touch with me in the background. And to do that, all you need to do is, if you look up in the top right-hand side of your screen, you'll see a Learnbridge Online logo. It says click here for support. Just go ahead and click on that and it will come through to me, and I will do my best to help you. So, with all that in mind, I will start the recording and then we can invite Jack and get started. Good morning, Stuart. Hi, Liz. Hi, Angela. Hi, Claudine. Right. Just wait for it to start. All right, we're off. Welcome along, everybody, to another lesson here at Learnbridge Online. Thank you for taking part in our community across 2024. I believe this is the last beginner's lesson for 2024, but we've got lots of great things in store for you next year. So, without further ado, we will call Jack up to the table and see what he has got in store for us tonight. Better give Jack a warm welcome. See if we can give him some confetti. Oh, balloons. Got balloons. We don't have Jack though. Not sure what's going on. There he is. Hello. Oh, you look amazing. Yes, we've got quite a different look going on to each other, but I think that you look almost alien with your goggles on. Have you managed to get some skiing in? I guess, are you just getting started for the day?
Yeah, so this is a family ski holiday, not a work ski holiday. So
Yes.
I'm here. The mystery location can be revealed at last, Caroline. I'm in the French ski resort of Serre Chevalier.
Oh, fantastic. Never heard of it, but I'm sure it's amazing.
Well, a lot of English people haven't heard of it as well. It's like a hidden gem in the southeast of France on the Italian border, quite near Turin. But it's this Briançon, which is the town we're in. We're about a 5-minute drive from the ski resort. It has 300 hours of sun. It's France's sunniest town in the whole country. So, yeah, I'm just here with the children. We're staying at my sister's house, which is right behind me. And, yeah, we're having a lovely time. So delighted to be able to bring this lesson to you all. And my daughter and her friend are having a lion, so they're quite grateful.
Oh, amazing. Well, make sure you keep the sunscreen on. I'm sure you'll be getting lots of sun while you're out there. But what have you got in store for us today?
Well, I think I better take the gloves off because I can't work the keyboard.
Yeah, you won't be able to type very well if you do that.
No. But yes, we're looking mostly at drawing trumps today. You know, how to draw trumps, when to stop, counting the opponent's trumps. So yeah, we're very much looking at declare a play this morning.
Great. An important lesson. All right, well, I will leave you all to it, and I will see you at the end.
Yes, and at the end, remind me, Caroline, we'll just have a little chat, you and me and some of the students, just about BBO. You know, not now, but at the end, for those who want to, just because I think, you know, obviously it's early days for them. We just need to say one or two things. I think someone wrote in saying about something, but yeah, we'll just have a little chat about BBO.
Yeah.
Because obviously
All
it's
right.
early days for them, and we want them to get it right. But we'll do that at the end.
All right. Okay. Well, have a great lesson, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yes, and by the way, I love your outfit.
Thanks. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
distracting actually.
No, I love it. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Right, everyone. Well, here we are in France, drawing trumps with Jack Stock, and that's me. So, and a warm welcome if you're watching in replay as well. I know that many of you do, especially this time of year when there's other things going on in the festive season. So, about 60% of the time, Bridget's right for declare to draw trumps first. There are times when you don't. We'll look at those at a later date. There was a lady who I taught near Harrogate, whose name shall remain nameless, although she wouldn't mind. She's very relaxed. She never draws trumps. She knows she doesn't, and her contracts generally go down. But she seems to think it's quite funny. I wonder if her partner thinks it's as funny as she does. So if you do, you see, you can play out your winners in the other suits, safe in the knowledge that your opponents won't trump your winners. That's the whole point of it. That's the idea of it. As we've talked about in the last few weeks, much easier just to count the opponent's trumps. So what I do is I just count my trumps up there. I've got 5 in declarer's hand south, 3 in dummy, that's 8. Take away from 13. And I often say you don't have to be a genius, to be good at bridge. Really just basic takeaway and addition. So the opponents have clearly got 5 trumps, which we'll hope, most of the time they'll divide 3 and 2, which is a 68% chance. Yeah. When they divide 4-1, that's fairly nasty. You tend to stop drawing them if they're 4 and 1 against you. Let's go straight on to hand 1, mostly about playing hands today on BBO. And here's one I prepared earlier for you. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Drew. Oh, and happy Christmas, Noli. Thank you. Yes, we missed out on our Christmas card. I must have show you the Christmas card when I go back into the classroom. But here we go. North is the dealer. That's 1 diamond. East is an overcaller. Remember, we've just done our overcalling lesson. So East and West are overcallers. If they want to bid now, East or West, they need to bid a suit. They need to have 5 cards. Okay? So it actually makes life a lot easier. If you've only got 4 card suits, you'll mostly have to pass. Although there is a bid coming up later on that can resolve that problem if you have a strong hand with no 5 card suit. Just 1 heart from South. Yeah, clearly South will want to be in game, but there's no rush at the moment. As Doreen Adams used to say, that famous bridge teacher over Huddersfield Way, 6 to 26 for responder. Yeah, I've inherited that expression from her. North will always bid again 2 diamonds. What next for South now? Clearly they must bid again with 14 points. What bid? The first question of the morning to those watching live in the chat box and also those in replay. What would you bid now with the Southander? I'm going to lay quite a large bet that you'll come up with different answers. Let's get some interaction going. Ooh. Let's see. Yeah, just waiting for the answers. Seems to be a bit of a lag. Yes, Piers. Good morning, Piers. Can you be a bit more specific though? What would your rebid be? Yeah, if you just have a bit of a guess, I don't like to name and shame, as you know. 2 hearts has been offered there. 3 hearts. Any advance on 3 hearts? Clearly we need to bid hearts, don't we? Some people bid 3 no trumps here, but not suitable for playing in no trumps. Morning, Michelle. Morning, Sandy. Well, actually, may surprise you a little bit. I'm going to bid 4 hearts. Yeah, with enough points for the game and a solid suit. Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 8. Really, we've got a very solid suit. They're only missing the ace and the king. I don't really mind if partner doesn't have any. So I think we can go straight to game here in hearts. But it's an experience thing. Yeah, experience just tells me that with a solid 7-card major suit, I want to play in 4 hearts. 2 hearts, by the way, actually shows a relatively weak point count, as does 3 hearts. So with enough points for game, we go straight to 4 hearts. 2 hearts and 3 hearts would show a lesser point count, and that would be the final contract. And let's practice the opening lead. Always good to practice that at this relatively early stage of our bridge career. What is the best lead from West? I can see a good one there. When we did an opening lead lesson the other day, avoiding the opponent's suits is a good one. Should we have a few more offers? Three no trumps not suitable, Margaret. Good question. Just because we've got a singleton and we've got such a solid suit in hearts, we're better having hearts as trumps. It's safer. Also, we might be weak in clubs, Margaret, in no trumps if they attack us in clubs. Lovely. I think with a solid 7-card major suit, we're better in hearts. Good. It's all great that you're all having a go with the opening lead. Well, not all of you. Some of you having a go with the opening lead in a live chat box. What about you watching in replay? That's fine, Married. The best lead by far, Jack of Spades promising the 10. Yeah. If we were leading in no trumps, we'd have led the 4 of Spades. Lowest card from our longest and strongest suit. Well done if you chose the Jack of Spades. And I'm just thinking, I've thanked partner for the dummy. They've wished me good luck. I'm just thinking whether to draw trumps or not. I've decided. I wonder if you've decided. So which card would you play next from Declare's hand? South at trick 2. Yes, we've been lucky with the weather here so far. 3 days of sun and blue sky and plenty of snow around, actually, which is good. A few of the runs are closed. I think most of the black runs and quite a few of the red runs are closed, but there's plenty of skiing here. Are we going to draw trumps or not? So which card should we play from our own hand specifically? There's 12 to choose from. Just waiting for the answers. So next Wednesday is Christmas Day. Of course, there's no bridge lesson on Christmas Day. I've recorded one for you for next Wednesday. So there's a recorded lesson for Christmas Day for you to watch sometime next week. And that recorded lesson will be on... Oh, it's on overcalling. I haven't taught you overcalling yet. I was ahead of myself. I have recorded the lesson on overcalling, but you'll get it next week. Yes, we're going to draw trumps. I'm going to start with the Queen. There's no reason not to. Some people get the fear if there's a singleton in dummy, but actually, if there's a shortage in dummy, it's more important to draw trumps. I'll tell you why in a second. So Queen or Jack of Hearts, I tend to play the higher card. It's easier for me to remember it's gone. Of course, the Jack of Hearts is the same, or the 10. The second player play low. Wins with the King. And returns partner's suit. Winning in hand, by the way, not the dummy, because we need to continue drawing trumps. Now, let's just count the trumps out. We had 8. The opponents have got 5, adding up to 13. So they've still got 3 left. Yeah, just counting the 5 down to 3. So the Jack of Hearts, they would take their ace now. And best to continue with a spade. Maybe partners run out of spades. In which case they'd be able to ruff it or trump it, known as ruffing. So that's all looking quite good. We come back to hand with the ace of clubs. still got some unfinished business to do. But have you seen very soon on this hand, what we've been doing is we've been doing a 2-for-1. The supermarket special, as I call it. When I go shopping, I do look for 2-for-1 for my northern routes, although they don't tend to do many 2-for-1s these days. Bog off and all that. So we've been drawing 2 of the opponents. So even if there's a singleton trump in dummy, it's normally right to draw them out. So we draw out the last trump because it's lower than ours. Over to the ace of diamonds. Cash the king. Throwing away our club. And the rest are ours, aren't they? We'll just play them out quickly because it is polite to our robotic opponents. I would normally claim, but it's a good habit, I think, especially when you first start playing bridge, to play out the cards to the end, especially when you've got less experience. And there we go. That's 450. For those who like to score, you're pretty good at your scoring now. We don't need to practice it every time. So all we lost there are the ace king of hearts. Just take you back to the classroom. So yes, a hand really designed to show you that even with a shortage of trumps in the dummy, it's still right to draw them out. Let's go back to the classroom. Oh, and I just wanted to show you the Christmas card before I forgot. There we go. There's our Christmas card to you as our students and viewers. Merry Christmas from LBO and my personal bridge company, Yorkshire Bridge. .co.uk. Have a look at my website. Yes, there's a few interesting things for you. yorkshirebridge.co.uk. Okay, so let's have a look at this combination. So how do we make 2 tricks here? Margaret's got a good question. How do you decide when not to draw trumps at the beginning? Oh, Margaret, that's a different lesson there. Today's lesson, I'm afraid, is just on when to draw the trumps. There is another lesson coming up in the future about when not to draw trumps. But I don't want to confuse the two. But Margaret, if you need to know now, or soon, have a look online. Just put in when not to draw trumps at bridge. Good that you're ambitious though, Margaret. I like that. Thinking out of the box. But yes, put in, and then you could also put in creating a void in dummy. That's the main time when we don't draw trumps. But I'm not going to go through it now because this lesson is really just to do with drawing out the trumps. How do we try and make 2 tricks from there? And you can be in either dummy's hand or declare. Which do you think is best? Would you rather be playing from the dummy or would you rather be playing from declarer? Yes, it's just to reiterate, a recorded lesson on overcalling next week will be available to you. Yes, but I think what's very clear, Angela, is yes, we need to be in declarer's hand if we can. If you play from dummy, you'll almost always lose a trick to the king of diamonds. So we start with the 2 of diamonds. Second player will always play low, because that's the right thing to do. Oh, we can say hello to the dog as well. There's a dog here. Chili, viens ici. Viens ici. Say hello. Chili, up here. Up here, up here. What's in here? Chili's a bit old. Say hello to Chili. Oh, Chili. Yeah. Bon chien. Oh. Oh no, c'est un bon chien. That's Chili. My sister's dog. It's a Picardy Spaniel, I think. Yeah, she's gorgeous. We love Chili. It's quite old now. It's about 12 years old. Bon chien, oui. There's a cat as well for cat lovers, but the cat's upstairs. Yes, let's look at the answer. Yes, you play the 2 to the queen. This is a finesse. Yeah, we've been doing a little bit on finesses. As I say, we will do a full lesson on finessing at a later date. Finesses are really good things in bridge. 50-50 is actually good odds in bridge. Otherwise, they'd be like pretty much 0% if you played the ace first. Good. So that's a finesse. Some of you will still find finesses quite difficult. Don't worry, that's entirely normal. Some players find them relatively easy. Some players find them quite hard, but practice is the key. Would you draw trumps first in 4 hearts here? Lead of the Jack of Spades. Well, that's the hand we've just had. So the answer is yes, isn't it? 2 for 1, the supermarket special, just like we did on BBO. Good. Should we talk about the rule of 1? I've talked about it a little bit in the last few weeks. Basically, the rule of 1, if there's 1 trump left outstanding and it's higher than yours, then leave it outstanding. Why draw 1 trump for 2 of yours when their trump will win anyway? Yeah, no point. It's like a reverse supermarket special. So if there's 1 trump of theirs that's higher and it's going to win anyway, just let it win at some point later in the hand. It's always going to win. There's no point wasting 2 of yours to draw a trump that's going to win. Let's go straight on to hand 2. It's good that we had a little hello from Chile. Maybe she'll say hello at the end as well. I'm not going to ask this question, but I'm sure you're all going to open 1 spade because you always do. You're well trained by your teacher. You open length before strength. So the spade comes first, even though the clubs are stronger. Over to North. North's got 13 points. What's North's best bid here? And you are welcome to join us for the Christmas party. It is open to beginners too. That's on Monday at 9:30, Monday the 23rd. We dress up and have a bit of fun. I mean, a lot of the bridge for the beginners will be kind of, over your head. The stuff that really, you won't understand. You think, but I think you will perhaps marvel at it. But there's a serious disclaimer that the Christmas party is aimed at improvers and intermediates, not beginners. But you are more than welcome to join. Just you'll see how kind of fantastic probably the game is as you learn more. But certainly it does carry a disclaimer. A lot of it you won't understand. Why are they bidding this? Why are they doing that? I won't be explaining that. Well, in a small detail, but it isn't aimed at beginners, just so you know. Right, so you are bidding 4 spades here because you've got 4 card support. That's important. And you've got 25 points between you. Well done. Job done. You've ticked the 2 boxes. And let's just practice the opening lead again. I think it's good to practice. That's a really important card. What is by far the best lead from West? There. And we will talk a little bit about bridge-based online, BBO at the end, just to see if we can iron out a few creases. But it's early days, and you won't get so many people playing this week and next because of the festive period. I think more BBO will happen in January. That'd be a great month for playing online after the Christmas and New Year period. By far the best lead, Michelle, Angela, Sandy, Piers, Mareed, Claudine, and others, is the King of Diamonds, yeah. The King promising the Queen. To lead the Queen here would be wrong. That would promise the Jack of Diamonds. So you lead the higher card of the touching honours and just deciding whether to draw trumps. It won't take me that long because I've been playing bridge 40 years, on and off. Not constantly, there were gaps. But we're going to ask you that question in a minute. Not always second player play low. I beat the King with the Ace of Diamonds here. So are you going to draw trumps? Which card are we going to play from North, do you think now? Specifically from dummy. So are we going to draw trumps? And with that, which card should we play from dummy? That's basically going to tell me. Dog's drinking some water, I can hear it. Thirsty, Julie. Yes, I don't see any reason not to draw the trumps here. The hearts can wait till later. So we start with the top. Just counting the trumps, of course, we've got 9 between us. The opponents have got 4. So I'm hoping I'm just going to count the 4. I'm hoping they divide 2 and 2. But we do, very important here, to start with either the ace or the king of spades. To play a low one would be a mistake. We'd always lose to the queen or the jack. Here, if spades divide 2-2, we won't lose any spade tricks. Well, they're 3-1. That's not surprising. It's actually slightly more likely 3-1 than a 2-2 split. But what do we do next from the dummy? Which card should we play? Do we continue to draw trumps? Or do we play another suit? What do you think? If you're watching in replay, what's your views on this? Well, this is the rule of 1, surprisingly enough. We just talked about it in the classroom. When there's 1 trump left and it's higher than yours, you should leave it out. Yeah. If it was lower than ours, most of the time I draw it out. But here, no. So what are we going to? We're going to play hearts. So hello, Rose. Morning. Are you new, Rose, by the way? I'm not sure I've seen a Rose in the chat box before. But yes, we should play a heart. Good. Let's try and get the hearts going. Second player plays low. Would not be advisable to play the king here. You just give the game away. So second player normally plays low. And what about from us as declarer? Do we put in the ace of hearts or the jack of hearts here? What do you think? Remember, in real life, you can only see your own cards. You won't be able to see East West. You know that. I need to reiterate it as well. So in real life, I wouldn't be able to see the East West cards, just declarer and dummy. Everyone gets to see the dummy, of course. Patricia, yes, I'm definitely this right to put in the jack of hearts here. This is a finesse. 50-50. Okay, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I don't mind if finesses lose, by the way, because half the time they will. And if you're going to lose to the king of hearts, you're going to lose to it. But here it wins. Perfect. So we'll play the ace of hearts. We've just taken a successful finesse. Now what card do we play, do you think, from declarer's hand? We get the clubs going, yes. Let's play out the ace king of clubs and create a void in dummy. Just whilst you're asking, Margaret, this is a really useful thing to do. So now we can play the 6 of clubs. Roughing in the dummy. Roughing is the technical word for trumping. East would probably over rough with the queen. Don't have to, by the way. It's up to them. But why not? Take their queen. They would switch to a diamond. Dummy's weaker suit. And they revert to hearts. But we're on the way home now. We can rough the losing club in dummy, look. And we got an overlap of winners. Queen of hearts. But we've got an overlap of winners at the end. And there we go. Wow, we're going to make an over trick. Says 450, actually 650 because we're vulnerable, denoted by the red to the left where the 1 is. To the left of the screen, over here, look. We're vulnerable, they're not. So 500 for the vulnerable game. And we made an over trick, courtesy of the heart finesse. So even though trumps divided 3 and 1, we still managed to make an extra trick. Just losing to the queen of spades and the queen of diamonds. Good. Well, that's, just a good example of drawing trumps and also mainly the rule of 1, if it's higher than yours. And we had a finesse in there as well, which was good. Let's go back to the classroom. Again, how does the Clara play 4 spades after West leads the Queen, King of Diamonds? Well, we've just had this hand. We draw trumps and then play on hearts. Good. So that's just an example of rule of 1 for you. So you've got it. These are all in the worksheet as well, which you can download and either keep digitally, or some people print them out, the notes, and keep them in a folder. I'm sure some of you have been doing that by now. Your folder is getting bigger by the day. But yes, useful to look at the worksheet. Yes, we've definitely got time. Let's go back to the BBO. So yeah, it's all about playing out hands today mainly. And interesting, yes. What does South open? Yeah, what does the South hand open as dealer? 15 points. What would you open as the South hand? So a little bit strong for one no trump. One no trump is only 12 to 14 points. So we'd open 1 heart here. But I think this hand showcases why sometimes you'll have to open a really manky suit. Yeah, it's just your longest suit. You know, you'd be very unlucky to get left in it. So you don't have to have suit quality as opener or responder. You're just bidding your longest suit. Right, good, well done. And over to North. They've got 13 points. Yes, I'm here till Sunday and then back in Harrogate for the Christmas party on Monday morning at 9:30 UK time. What does North do with their 13? What's their best bid? Sebastian, do you want to watch some TV? Yeah, just turn the TV on if you want. Well, we must support the hearts because we've got 4 cards. And we got 13 points. So when we've got a fit and enough points for game, bid 4 hearts here. Good. You're not to know that your partner's hearts are poor. Yeah, and you can. The top of the sequence counts as a 10. It stops at 10, by the way, the sequence. It doesn't, 9s and 8s and 7s don't feature. But ace, king, queen, jack, 10 promises the card below it. So here, the 10 of diamonds promises the 9. Never play too quickly at trick 1. That's the lesson I'm doing actually with the improvers at 11 o'clock this morning. So if you are, if you played a fair bit of bridge before, you could always join the improver class as well. I know Claudine is getting ready for her bridge holiday in Crete next September. But have you decided whether to draw trumps or not? So we're going to win with the ace. Well, I just need to let the dog out. Just give me a second. But what card are we going to play next from dummy? Are we going to draw trumps? Remember, you can't see the east-west cards. Yeah, just looking at north-south. I'll let the dog out. Oh dear, do you want to go out? Come. Then we forget Sebastian Chin. I'll put the TV on, darling. Yeah, that works. Well, interesting. Joy's saying no. Most of you, some are playing a spade, some of you are playing a club. What's he doing if you're watching replay? Have you decided whether to draw trumps? I know they're really bad trumps, aren't they? But the thing is, we should get them out. Okay. Otherwise, you see, if we just play out our winners here, then they're going to eventually trump our winners, and we'd end up going 1 or 2 down. So this is a bit of a trick hand, really, because it may look as though drawing trumps isn't right. But it is, because you will soon see that the honours will collapse on each other. There's no point playing back a diamond, so they switch to a club. We don't need to play the jack of clubs just yet. I think I'd win with the ace of clubs. But we're going to play another trump now. And look what happens, you see. The queen and the king of hearts crash under each other. So as long as trumps divide 3-2 here, the only 3 tricks you're going to lose are going to be hearts. What does... so East has just won with the king of hearts. What card should they play next, do you think? What does East does best to do, having won the king of hearts? You're watching in replay, what do you think? What should East play as a defender, having won the king of hearts? Yeah, so this is good suggestions from Piers, Joy, and Mareed. Yeah, this would be a good thing to do. For the defenders can do a 2-for-1 as well. So if they can draw out 2 trumps for one of theirs, that's a good thing. So well done for doing that. Good. They've taken out 2 of ours for 1. So that's a 2-for-1 also works for a defender as well as a declarer. They would continue with clubs. Dummy's weakest suit. Generally the best thing to do. And do we put in the jack of clubs or the king? We need to make the rest of the tricks. Are you going to risk the jack of clubs? Remember, in real life, you can't see the opponent's cards. Just declarer and dummy. Piers is risking the jack of clubs here. But is it a necessary risk, I wonder? Oh, yeah, Sandy, stay on the line at the end because we'll just have a little chat about BBO. I know you had a query in the week, which I can just chat through with Caroline. Caroline knows more about BBO than I do. Yes, it is a necessary risk, everyone, here, to put in the jack. So I'm going to keep my fingers firmly crossed here, because if the queen of clubs is with West, we're going to go 1 down. If the queen of clubs is with East, we're going to make our contract. Hurrah! Yeah, the finesse worked. So this contract actually effectively was a 50-50 game in the end. So we just play out our winners now, which I'm going to do. It's a good thing to do, to play them out to the end, as I keep saying. But they're all winners now, look. Ace of spades. Queen of spades. King of spades. Winning queen of diamonds. And the trumps. At the end, we are going to make 4 hearts vulnerable. There it is, 420. It's 620 actually, because we're vulnerable. But I think this hand, well, I know that this hand showcases why even with poor trumps there, it was best to get them out. Because if you didn't draw trumps and played out your spade winners, West would ruff the 3rd round with the 10 of hearts, and you'd be at least 1 down. Okay? So, yeah, it was a good idea to draw trumps. And I think you saw the way that they fell under each other, didn't they? The jack and the 10 of hearts, the king and the queen fell, and then the ace of hearts made itself. And crucially, of course, taking that club finesse. Yeah. at some point. You could have taken it first time round. Mareed's got a question. How does it get decided whether you're vulnerable or non-vulnerable? Basically, Mareed, the dog wants to be let in. I'll just let the dog in. Hang on. I can let the dog. Come on, doggy. Come on, in you go. Yeah, the vulnerability is clearly set out. So in sets of 4 hands, Marie. So on the first hand, no one's vulnerable. On the second hand, the dealer is vulnerable. On the third hand, the dealer is vulnerable. That'll be the opposition. And on the fourth hand, everyone's vulnerable. It's just laid out like that. Right, let's have another BBO hand. Yeah, and as LBO support says, it cycles and repeats every 4 hands. Resets itself. So yeah, the vulnerability is set automatically for you. Well, we definitely play a 4th hand today. It's all about playing hands on BBO mostly. 14 points. It's a 1 no trump opener. 12 to 14 balance. Notice we don't have to have cover in diamonds and hearts. No, just purely a point count with a balance hand. West passes with only 8 points. And North, it's got 11 points here. What does North bid, if anything, with 11? What do you think? Interesting answers. I think what you've got to think about mainly is that South, the 1 no trump open, is not going to bid again. They are in the bar. We did touch on this bid actually in the no trump response lesson. There is another no trump response lesson coming up at a later date, but I don't think I can see the right answer yet. If I had the get out of jail free card with me, I'd give it to you. But can I just say that game isn't definite with only 11 points as North? How do you invite game? Let me give you a get out of jail free card. We do another lesson on no trump responding at a later date, which covers this. We've only covered it briefly. So you can be forgiven for giving me wrong answers. How do you invite game opposite a 1 no trump opener? And well done at home if watching in replay, if you got this right first time, because this is an ideal bid for 2 no trumps. 11 or 12 points. Inviting game. If you have 13 points or more, North would jump to 3 no trumps, knowing that South has a minimum of 12. But North doesn't know what South has. So that bid is 11 or 12. If you had 10 points, North would just pass without a 5 card suit. Right, over to South now. Interesting. Well, they've got 14 points. Would you bid again? Or would you stay in your beloved bar? What do you think? Partners shown 11 or 12 points. Marie, there are exceptions to most rules in bridge. And actually, I have to tell you, it's a really good rule to start with when you first start playing bridge. I've seen so many people over the years, try to bid again when they open 1 no trump, and most of the time they're wrong. But one of the few exceptions, when you are allowed to come out of your beloved bar, is when partner bids 2 no trumps. Yeah, so this is an exception to the rule. Good. So South would stay in the bar with 12 or 13 points, but they would come out of the bar with 14. There you go. So that's interesting. An exception, there are occasionally only 1 or 2 times when you'd ever come out of the bar, and that's one of them. We'll look at the other one at a later date. Let's hope there's not a queue in the bar, says Angela. Yes. It could be come Christmas time. The bars here are very quiet in Serre Chevalier. It's very, very quiet, which is good for us. It's just, I think the resort only opened a week ago. Now, down to business of 3 no trumps. We've got to make 9 tricks. Have you counted your certain ones? Let's just have a go at that. Should only take a second for the more experienced. How many certain tricks have we got? I would always do that in no trumps, just to give me an idea of how many we need, how many extras we need. Then I'm asking myself where we're going to go for extras. That'd be the second question. And third is to do with the execution of the plan, which we'll come on to in a minute. Then, when all's that done, are we 5 certain tricks correct? Ace, king of spades, ace, king of clubs, ace of diamonds. Plenty of potential. I'd definitely be looking at potential in diamonds. Could be 1 extra in clubs. But diamonds is going to be the key suit for us here. On a really good day, we could make all 4 diamond tricks, but we're going to look at that in a second. Our second dilemma, really, is never play too quickly at trick 1. So that's simple. That's the lesson coming up at 11, actually, which is for the improvers who've been playing for a year or 2. Yeah, so if you fancy a lesson on that, that's fine. It's not too difficult. It's not like you're learning new bidding theory or anything like that. But which one should we play? Remember, you can only see the north-south cards. So try not to look at the east-west. I know it's not easy. Would you go second player play low with the 5 of hearts? Or would you rise with the king? Place your bets. No pressure, but the future of the contract depends on it. I'm going to give you a clue because it's nearly Christmas. I'm feeling generous. There are times when it's right not to play second player play low. Okay, you may want to change your answers, given that West is more likely to have the ace of hearts, given that they've led the suit. Would you like to change your answers? Some of you. Les, in no trumps, you lead the lowest card from the longest suit. It's just a standard thing. Good question from Les there. It's all about length winners, Les, no trumps. It's all about, really, it's a little bit of a race. East-West trying to establish their long suit, the defenders, before Declare and Dummy establish their long suit. Let's see what happens if you make the mistake that, you know, a lot of beginners and improvers would. They put in second player play low. Queen of hearts wins. Heart comes back to the ace. And I think you can see now, Declarer takes the next 5 tricks, takes the first 5 tricks. Sorry, hang on. Yeah. Yeah, they take the first 5 tricks and you're 1 down before you've even started. So it was quite tricky, that. Let's go back in time. I'm allowed to do that. You're not when you play bridge. So really, your only chance of making the king is to make it now. To hope that West started with the ace, which is odds on, by the way, because they have led the suit. So luckily for us, it wins. Good, so that's a good start. Now, what card do we play from dummy now? Diamond, club, heart or spade. So it's good to go through these 4 hands with you quite slowly, really trying to improve our card play, which really only improves once you practice it yourself, either online or face-to-face. But what card should we play from the dummy? Be specific. If you're watching in replay, what do you think? I think what we've got to think about, what I would be thinking about, is definitely I'm going to want to play on diamonds. But which hand do we want to be in to play the diamonds? Do we want to play them from the dummy or from declarer? That's what I'd be thinking to myself. I would also be thinking to myself, we're very, very weak in hearts. If we lose the lead, we're toast. So we're on the dummy. Where would you like to be, though? Would you like to be on the dummy? Would you prefer to play diamonds from declarer's hand? And the clue is nearly all finesses in bridge are playing your low cards towards your honor cards. So let's just see what happens if you make the mistake of playing the ace of diamonds. It's a mistake, but let's see what happens. It wins, obviously, but then you play the queen and it loses to the king in either hand, and they take their 4 winning heart tricks for 2 down. Let's go back in time. The same thing happens if you play the queen of diamonds. You are going to lose to the king, whichever hand it is in. It happens to be with West. They win the king of diamonds and take their 4 heart winners for 2 down. And it is quite tricky finessing, by the way. If you don't understand finessing, you're not alone. No, I keep saying that because it's true, not just because I'm being nice. So what we need to do, and very well done if you spotted this, is come back to hand with a club or a spade. And then you see, we're playing towards the ace queen of diamonds. Second player play would not help them to play the king, by the way. That just would remove any guess. And which one do we play from the dummy? Ace, queen, or jack? Joy's lost connection. I can't help you with that, Joy. Do you think Jack's lost connection? No, I think you're still with me. Marie and Michelle are still with me. I've still got connection. LBO is going to... Yeah, and I'm fine. I think just Joy's lost connection at her end, Caroline. So yes, we put in the queen or the jack. I tend to play the higher one. Now, that's great, because if we'd have lost to the king of diamonds, they'd return a heart and we'd be 1 or 2 down. So what do 2 down? So what do we do now? Sorry, we'd be 1 down. Joy's back. Rejoice. Pardon the pun. Rejoice. Do you get it? And with a Christmas theme as well. Okay, what do we do now from the dummy? So no lesson next week, just to reiterate that. It is Christmas Day. They do give me the day off every now and again. But there is a recorded lesson for you on overcalling for you to watch sometime next week or just after Christmas. Well, the problem is some of you are playing the diamonds. No. No, if you play the ace of diamonds, this is wrong. Again, it wins, obviously. But then you play another diamond. And again, it loses to the king. And they take their heart winners for 1 down. So let's go back in time. Really instructive hand this about finessing. And it's not even the finessing lesson. So what you do instead is come back to that, say this time with a spade. And we repeat the finesse. Okay? We will finesse for the 2nd time. To the knave. See, the king is kind of caught, you know, in a position there. Now, there's no more finessing to be done. We've used up the queen and jack of diamonds, so now we play the ace. And our prayers are answered because diamonds have divided 3 and 3. It's only a 36% chance that. So this contract was a very lucky contract, but good technique from you and me has been rewarded. So crucially, everyone, that 7 of diamonds is a master. Yeah, let's just marvel at that for a second. Now, we've got 7 tricks. Keep an eye on the target to the left. We've got 7. We only need 2 more. We now turn we've been very tortoise-like with our finessing. We now turn into the hare and take our 2 winners, don't we? When you see the finish line. Now, I'm not at all bothered by the rest, but I will play them out just in case, because it's polite. For the opponents. There we go. And they make the last few tricks. Oh, the cat's arrived. Pepper. There we go. So, just a quick say hello from Pepper. Pepper, hippos. So there will be some cat lovers out there as well. This is Pepper. Who's perfect. Pepper, puss. I don't think he's very happy, is he? Pepper? Do we get a meow? No. Bonjour. Yes, it's very friendly. Friendly pussycat, that one. Purrs a lot. There's a spice theme with chili and pepper. Oh, yes. I wonder if my sister thought of that. Caroline, I hadn't come across me before. Chili and pepper, yes. Well done for spotting the link. I'll have to ask her when she comes back. Right. Well, there we go. A very hard-earned 3 no trumps, that one. It was tricky, wasn't it? We needed a lot of luck. We needed the ace of hearts to be with West. We needed the king of diamonds to be with West. And we needed the diamonds to be 3 and 3. So for those who like percentages, the odds of making that game were probably about 7%. But good technique was rewarded. Should we go back to the classroom for the final time? If you remember just 3 things from this lesson, draw trumps most of the time, about 60%. Even if dummy only has 1 trump. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
Rob's just arrived with my sister Claudia. They've come back from the airport. Secondly, rule of 1. If there's 1 trump left and it's higher than yours, leave it out. That's important. And finally, with an ace-queen combination, declarer should play a small card to the queen, known as a finesse. You can come through, Claudia. And Robbie, I'm just finishing off. So that is the end of the lesson. I think you know how to play Jackson. Yeah, the bridge app on the phone. Hi, Caroline.
Hello again.
Nice to see you. I'm just telling them briefly just about the app on the phone, the bridge app, because that's an alternative way of playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've actually told them how to do this, so this is just a recap. I'm just going through it quickly on the slides. You can upload, all sorts of hands there, Caroline, from the bridge app. They've got drawing trumps, fit and bidding game hands, responding to 1 no trump to practice, strong balance hands. The only one we haven't done quite yet is lesson 6. That's coming up in a couple of weeks' time, the 5-4 rule. But there's plenty
I wish
of
I'd had that when I was starting. Honestly, I would highly recommend going in and doing those hands. That would be super useful.
Yeah, really useful. The hands, actually, I've uploaded myself to the app
Yes,
with the permission of the organizer. So it's a Merry Christmas to everyone. There we go, from LBO.
Yes, I know. This year's gone so quickly, but I hope everybody will come back next year and there'll be some more great lessons I'm sure you've got in store for us.
Definitely. We've got the 5-4 rule coming up. That's a really useful one. That's really going to help them in the bidding. And repeating a suit shows 6 cards. So 2 really important bidding rules coming up in a few weeks to look forward to. We'll try and get more BBO done, obviously, in the new year. I think, the Christmas party, Caroline's on Monday. Are you going to come and join us for that?
Monday? Yes, I should come along to that. So this is for your class on Monday, is it?
Yeah, this is mainly for the improvers and intermediates, but we're doing some really fun hands. We're doing some question and answer bidding things as well. But definitely, as I've said before, is aimed at improvers and intermediates. But beginners can come along and just, admire kind of what the game has to offer in the future.
Don't be nervous. Just go along and be kind of in awe of the knowledge that some people have. It's so much fun.
Oh yes, they don't have to take part in the chat box. I mean, they can do. No one minds if they do, and have a go with the answers. But there'll be most of the things they won't have covered there yet, and it will definitely be above the pay grade. But there are some really fun and fantastic hands that we're going to do there as a Christmas special.
Okay, I will definitely try to come along. And did you want to go through? Was there a question?
Just very briefly, was Sandy? Are you still with us? Because Sandy had a query or two. Sandy, who plays in Oz. I really just think at this time of year, there's not going to be all that many people on this week or next week, are there, Caroline, as beginners?
Well, I'm not sure about beginners, but the WhatsApp group is busy, very busy. So it seems to be that, if anything, it feels like it's busier because everybody's on holiday now. So,
oh, right. Well, certainly, let's just reiterate that then. Tomorrow is Thursday, Caroline. 4 o'clock. Let's try and get some bit more beginners there. 4 o'clock UK time tomorrow, and then probably you'll get less next Monday at 7 o'clock, the day before Christmas Eve. It's Mondays at 7 in the evening. But I think I'm really hoping that we'll get this. It's the same as what happened last year and the year before. We didn't have that many this time of year, but then obviously in January, people got going and got used to it.
I think everybody's had a little chance to practice in BBO and that kind of thing. Oh, there's Sandy.
I think what Sandy was saying, I've remembered what Sandy was saying. She was just saying, she finds it, they'll often find it quite quick. They find the live play quite quick. There's no time to pause. But if they're playing as 4 beginners, they don't have to go on to the next hand, do they? If they're 4 beginners from LBO, they don't have to play the next hand. They can kind of have a little chat.
No. So Sandy, I know you're there. So are you playing with people that you haven't met before? Well, you might not have met them, but are you playing with other LBO students, or are you just going into the ACOL club and whoever sits at the table? Because you will find that people at the table, if you don't know them, they'll play a bit faster. But there is a chat feature, so don't be afraid to, especially between deals. So it goes very quickly between deals. So it doesn't give you much of an opportunity if you want to kind of relook at all the cards at the end of the hand to kind of say, okay, what happened there? Because I've noticed that too. One thing that you can do, Sandy, is you can go in and you can open it up and you can reopen a hand that you've just played. So I'm not sure if you've figured out how to do that, but you can actually go back into your hands afterwards. So what I would recommend is maybe just sort of letting the hand move on. But if you've got some questions, you can go back into your scores. And basically, if you double click on the row where the score is that you got, it will actually open up the entire 4 hands again. Okay, so how do you do that? I'm just going to go into one of my own.
That's very helpful, Caroline. And I'm sure any support's good. But Sandy, by the look of it, is playing with beginners from here, which is great. And our advice definitely is not to play with, outsiders who've been playing more bridge and they play quickly. They can get a bit impatient, because basically beginners play at half the speed as improvers or intermediates. It's just the way it is when you're getting used to the game. So very important if we can, Sandy, and others to play with 4 beginners from here. Or if someone does join you, tell them that you're beginners in the message box and that you will play a bit slowly.
So if you're playing with 3 other beginners from LBO, it will sort of deal the next hand, but you can all kind of pause and go back into the hand. So I'm just going to join a tournament really quickly, a free one.
Okay, have a quick look, Caroline, whilst I continue chatting.
I'll let you know how.
Otherwise, we'll be back. Yes, they've got their recorded lesson next week, and then we're back. We're actually funny enough, Wednesday, the 1st of January is also New Year's Day, so there'll be no live lesson that day, but there will be a live lesson, everyone, on Thursday, the 2nd of January. Bashir will tell you we're changing days because clearly New Year's Day is not a good time to have a bridge lesson. I might be a bit hungover. But what we're doing, Caroline, is we're having the lesson on, Bashir might have told you, Thursday, the 2nd of January.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. He's sort of emailing me in the background.
Yeah.
So
he will tell you, but there's clearly no lesson on New Year's Day.
No, yes. Or Christmas Day.
But there'll be 2 live lessons on Thursday, the 2nd of January, 9:30 for the beginners. Yeah, so we don't miss out. And that'll be a review. It's quite a good time to have a review at the beginning of January.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because, everybody, your brain kind of switches off, which it totally should. It's Christmas. Okay. So, Sandy, just to clarify where you go to. So, in the BBO layout, you've got your green area where you've got all your cards, and then over on the left-hand side, you've got the vulnerability box. So you've got the the 4 sides of the vulnerability box, and they'll be highlighted in red to show which partnership is in vulnerability. And then just above that and below the burger stack or the pancake stack, whichever one you call it, that menu, you'll see where the score comes through, and you can click on that and it will open a little window. And when that little window opens, it basically has a list of the hands that you've played, and you just click on the row for the hand that you're interested in, and it will reopen. It won't open it, like it won't affect the cards that have been dealt in the background. It will open in like a little overlay window over the top, and you can relook at all the cards. And you can actually, there's a button I think you can even press that lets you move forwards and backwards through the cards, so you can relook at how you played the cards basically.
Yeah, I think probably it's just a question of, like all these things, Caroline, having a bit of a fiddle, isn't it?
Yeah,
having
just
a fiddle around.
Yeah, like because you can also see, just have a play around, Sandy. If you just click on things and just see how they work, you'll figure it out over time. Nobody's going to get upset with you. But even like where it says, where you've got the card sort of layout that shows this is a trick won by the opponents versus a trick won by us, you can actually click on that and it will bring up the previous trick played as well, so you can see the cards that were just played. So there's all sorts of little things there that you'll figure out over time. Yeah.
And Piers has put in a good question. Is there a distinct WhatsApp for beginners? Now that's a question I can't answer. That Shauna's in charge of WhatsApp, isn't she?
Shauna's in charge of WhatsApp. I don't believe there's a separate WhatsApp group, but in that WhatsApp group, you can just say, I'm a beginner and I'm looking for other beginners to play with, beginner in Jack's class.
Maybe what we should do, would you be able to email Shauna just ask her, Caroline, about the beginners, how best they join the WhatsApp group?
Yes, absolutely. And if anybody wants to...
Shauna's very happy to share her email. Do you just want to pop her email into the...
Yeah, I'm going to say I could put my email in there, but you're
I think that's the thing here. It's just email Shauna. She's very friendly. She lives in, is it?
Canada. She's in
Canada. Yeah, she's Canadian. Whereabouts is it in Canada?
Just trying to remember. Is it Vancouver?
No.
Oh, it's not.
We can ask her.
Toronto, but it's she's just outside one of the main centres.
Okay. Well, I think if you can, have you got her email there?
Yes, I'm just about to.
Well done. And then I think Shauna's in the improver class anyway, so I'll ask her as well what best for the beginners to join the WhatsApp group.
And she just responds at all times of day to people all around the world as well. So she's really helpful and
she's brilliant.
Yeah, she's amazing. So there you go. There are her details. So that's her email address and her name. If you just email her, and that's exactly how I joined it. Is I just emailed her and said, "Can you please sign me up? I'm one of the students in Jack's beginners class. And if you've got any questions, like she'll point you in the right direction if you've got any question how to use it."
Yeah, she's very friendly. Well, listen, I better get ready for the next class in 20 minutes for the improvers. So I'll say goodbye to everyone.
Yes.
Hello. Rob will say hello.
Yes, and hello to
Come on, you want to say hello, Rob? He's not shy. This is Rob.
Hi, Rob.
He's my sister. He's not camera shy, unlike my children who are camera shy. They won't ever say hello. But Rob is my sister's boyfriend.
Lovely.
This is Caroline, who hosts the online class, and Rob he actually plays bridge as well. He's
badly.
He could do with a few more online lessons, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So, and it's nice for Rob to say hello. You won't get a hello from my children, I'm afraid. They're camera shy, and actually, my 17-year-old's still in bed. I think she's having a lie-in. But listen, I'll say Happy Christmas to everyone. Piers, Angela, Sandy, and everyone else.
Yeah, and thank you so much for all the lessons this year, Jack. It's been fantastic, and
I've really enjoyed it, and it's just been great since October. bringing this wonderful game to a whole load of new people, online. So, it's really been a pleasure, and looking forward to plenty more lessons. And a lot more. There is a lot more to learn.
There's a lot more, yeah, and it's so much fun. So, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody back in the new year, and we will be continuing this journey with Jack, and we'll be learning a lot more. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. Thank you again to Jack. Thank you to Jack's mum, and thank you to all the cameos today from the little French papas and kitties.
Yeah, and we might see some of you at the Christmas party live on Monday at 9:30. But and otherwise there's a recorded lesson next week. Oh, thanks, Stuart. I'll say goodbye.
All right, everybody. We'll see you again soon. Have a great festive season.
Bye, Jack's mum.
Bye, Jack's mum.